My husband ordered me to liquidate the condominium I owned before marriage to settle his brother's $3 million gambling debt from Las Vegas. His mother stood beside him and said in that syrupy voice, "Darling, you really don't have an option here." He insisted I sell my pre-marriage downtown Chicago apartment to clean up his brother's catastrophic casino losses. His mother echoed every word and even warned me there would be consequences if I refused. But where were my 5-year-old daughter Lily and I supposed to live afterward? So I did what any mother backed into a corner would do. Let me tell you whether I was wrong. I was 33, making a living as a freelance graphic designer when I met Dominic at Millennium Park during the Summer Jazz Festival. He was a smooth-talking investment banker who bought me overpriced festival nachos and actually seemed to care when I spoke about my dream of launching my own design agency one day. We connected immediately. "You're not like the others, Serafina," he told me on our 4th date while we strolled along the lakefront trail. "Most women don't understand how deeply family loyalty runs in me." I thought it was noble. I was painfully naive. We dated for 18 months before he proposed on Navy Pier under the fireworks. His entire family was present, his parents Theodore and Vivian, his younger brother Marcus, even his grandmother. Everyone applauded. Vivian pulled me into a tight embrace, tears in her eyes, and whispered, "Welcome to the family, sweetheart." I felt like I had never known that kind of warmth growing up in foster care. I thought I was finally joining something unbreakable. Marriage flipped a switch overnight. Suddenly, every choice inside our Lincoln Park apartment required Vivian's silent approval. The artwork on the walls, the meals I prepared for Sunday dinner, even the way I arranged Dominic's desk, nothing escaped her judgment. She would appear without warning, designer purse swinging, flashing that polished smile while her eyes swept the rooms like a health inspector. "You really picked this shade of blue for the living room?" she once asked, dragging a perfectly manicured nail across the navy accent wall as though it had insulted her personally. "Well, I suppose it's modern." Then she'd glide to the kitchen. "Quinoa bowls again? Darling, accomplished men need hearty food. Red meat, not this rabbit food." I swallowed every remark because Dominic never once defended me. He would simply kiss her cheek and murmur, "Mom means well, babe." "My mother called" became the first sentence out of his mouth when he walked through the door each evening, not "How was your day?" or "I missed you," but always something Vivian needed, wanted, or disliked. When I became pregnant with Lily, I assumed everything would finally shift. We would become our own little family, right? Wrong. "You're consuming too much sugar," Vivian declared during one of her unannounced visits, glaring at my pint of Ben and Jerry's like I was feeding the fetus rat poison. "The doctor says everything is fine," I answered softly. "Doctors don't know everything, dear," she replied, patting my stomach as if I were a prize heifer. "Trust me, I raised 2 healthy sons." Dominic sat on the couch scrolling Instagram without looking up. When Lily arrived, tiny, perfect, with Dominic's dark eyes and my determined chin, I believed he would finally put us first. Instead, he vanished more often. "Mom needs help with Dad's blood pressure pills," or "Marcus is in another mess." Marcus was perpetually in chaos, lost jobs, eviction notices, money borrowed, and never repaid. At 28, he still lived like an overgrown fraternity brother with a betting addiction. "He's blood," Dominic would say whenever I dared question it. "You don't abandon blood, Serafina." "What about the family sleeping under this roof?" I'd gesture toward Lily stacking blocks on the rug. "What about us?" But his coat was already halfway on as he headed out to rescue Marcus from the latest disaster. 5 years into the marriage, I felt like I was suffocating. Freelance deadlines, preschool drop-offs, bath time, story time, everything fell on me while Dominic played dutiful son and brother everywhere except here. "Daddy's at Grandma's again," Lily observed one night while coloring at the kitchen island. "Yeah, sweetie, he'll be home soon," I lied. The explosion came on a random Tuesday in March. Dominic entered the apartment with Vivian right behind him like an expensive shadow. He didn't bend down to hug Lily when she ran to him. He didn't kiss me. His face was stone. "Serafina, we need to talk." "What's wrong?" "Marcus is in deep trouble, the worst kind," Vivian announced, lips curled in false sympathy. "He made some extremely unwise decisions in Vegas." "Unwise?" Dominic gave a hollow laugh. "He dropped $3 million, Serafina, $3 million. The number hit me like a slap. How does someone even lose $3 million? Private high-stakes poker rooms. He got in over his head with people who don't send polite reminders. My stomach nodded. "That's awful, but what does it have to do with us?" Dominic's jaw locked. "We're selling your condo and don't bother arguing." Your condo, I repeated, voice cracking. Vivian stepped closer, voice dripping honey over broken glass. Real wives stand by their husband's family, darling. Blood looks after blood. The only sound was Lily humming while she colored rainbows. I waited for the punchline. It never came. You're actually serious. Completely serious, Dominic said, and for a moment he looked almost relieved, as if he'd finally found a way to make someone else fix Marcus's mess. That apartment is Lily's safety net. I purchased it years before I met you. It's separate property. Vivian flicked her wrist. And right now your brother-in-law needs it more than a kindergartner needs a rainy day fund. Where exactly are Lily and I supposed to live, Vivian? Her school is 3 blocks away. This is our home. Dominic rolled his eyes. We both earn well. We'll rent something. It's not like we'll be on the street. Since when is Marcus's gambling addiction my financial obligation? Vivian's mask slipped. Since the day you said, I do, sweetheart, you married all of us. I married Dominic, I fired back, not his brother's bookie. Dominic's teeth ground so loudly I heard it. He made a mistake. He's family. You don't walk away from family. What about the family you created? I pointed at Lily. What about her future? She's 5, Vivian said coldly. Children bounce back. That's not, Vivian leaned in, voice dropping to a venomous whisper. You don't actually have a choice here. I stared at her. Come again? That's when Dominic pulled a thick manila folder from his briefcase. I already called Henderson Realty. Preliminary listing agreement is ready. We just need your signature. My hands began to tremble. You did what without asking me? And if you choose to make this difficult, Vivian continued, we happen to know some excellent family law attorneys. Custody disputes are so ugly and so costly for single mothers with no stable address. The threat landed like a grenade. They were talking about taking my daughter, but they didn't know something crucial. 3 months earlier, when Dominic started choosing his mother and brother over us day after day, an alarm bell that once kept me safe in foster care started ringing. So I quietly began protecting myself and my child. I opened a new bank account and rerouted every freelance payment there. I met with a family law attorney and placed the downtown condo into an irrevocable trust for Lily, with me as trustee. In that moment, staring at the listing agreement for property I no longer legally owned, I thanked past me for listening to her instincts. I understand, I said at last. Dominic exhaled, tension leaving his shoulders. I knew you'd see reason. You're a good wife. I glanced at Lily, happily sorting crayons, oblivious to the adults trying to gamble away her future. You're right, I said quietly. I do need to handle this carefully. The next morning, while Dominic was at the office and Vivian was probably shopping with money she hadn't earned, I made the call that rewrote everything. Martinez and Associates, this is Carmen. Hi, Serafina Chen. I need Miss Martinez right now. It's an emergency. 2 hours later, I sat across from Isabella Martinez, the fierce attorney who had helped me create Lily's trust months ago. They threaten to seek custody of your daughter if you don't sell property now legally owned by her trust, she asked, pen flying across her legal pad. Word for word. She looked up, eyes gleaming. Serafina, you just handed me Christmas in March. By that afternoon, we had filed for legal separation, an emergency sole custody petition, and a restraining order barring any harassment over the attempted sale of trust property. Dominic was served at his La Salle Street office the next day. My phone started blowing up at 6 sharp. Serafina, what the hell is this? His voice shook. Divorce papers? You cannot be serious. Call me immediately. The second voicemail was Vivian. You selfish, conniving little after everything we did for you? I saved both. At 8 came the furious knocking. Through the peephole, I saw Vivian's face, crimson with fury. Open this door right now. We are going to talk. Mommy, why is Grandma yelling? Lily asked, clutching my leg. Because some people think volume equals virtue, baby. I opened the door only wide enough to hand Vivian an envelope. What is this? She hissed. Copy of the trust instrument. Turns out the condo hasn't been mine to sell for months. It belongs to Lily now. I'm merely the trustee, her face drained of color. You planned this betrayal. I planned my daughter's protection. There's a difference. I shut and deadbolted the door. She pounded another 15 minutes before her heels clicked away in defeat. 6 months later, Lily and I still live in our Lincoln Park apartment, technically hers now. I painted her room lavender and bought the canopy bed that makes her squeal every morning. The divorce was quick and merciless. Dominic tried to cry hidden assets, but the trust predated their extortion attempt by months. Untouchable. Last I heard, Dominic moved into a cramped Wicker Park studio with Marcus, two grown men flipping down a Murphy bed, selling PlayStations and watches to keep loan sharks at bay. Apparently leg breakers don't do Venmo payment plans. Vivian stopped calling once her own lawyer explained that recorded custody threats are extremely unpopular with judges. Theodore, Dominic's father, actually sent a handwritten apology, saying he was mortified and ashamed. He still mails Lily birthday cards with $20 bills inside. Marcus. His gambling career ended abruptly when he left Chicago rather quickly. Something about unpaid markers and baseball bats. Word is he's pouring concrete in Phoenix now, wiring every paycheck eastward. Dominic texted me last week. "I miss you both so much. I screwed up. Can we please talk?" I left him on read. Some apologies come 5 years and $3 million too late. My design business is finally flourishing without constant family fires to put out. Lily is in first grade, reading chapter books, making friendship bracelets, asking occasionally why Daddy doesn't live here anymore. Sometimes grown-ups make choices that hurt the people they say they love, I told her. And then the people who got hurt have to make choices too, so they can stay safe. "Did you keep us safe, Mommy?" "I did my very best, Angel." She nodded solemnly and returned to her markers. At 5, almost 6, she already understands that love without safety isn't love at all. Some people believe family means unlimited yesies, no boundaries, and bleeding yourself dry because of shared DNA or a marriage license. They are mistaken. Real family guards one another's dreams instead of auctioning them off when someone else is reckless. Vivian was right about one thing: I didn't have a choice, but not the way she thought. I chose my daughter. I chose our peace. I chose us, and I would choose it again every single day for the rest of my life. The ironic part about safeguarding yourself is that, to the people who intended to exploit you, it looks like treachery. Dominic and his mother called my quiet preparations deception. I call it survival. When someone proves they are willing to trade your child's security for their own comfort, believe them the first time. These days, Lily and I have Friday movie nights with extra butter popcorn. She falls asleep against my side before the credits roll. Sunday mornings, we make pancakes shaped like unicorns and dinosaurs and eat them in our pajamas while cartoons play. It's quiet, it's calm, it's ours. The condo has appreciated even more in the years since I bought it. Lily's trust is healthy and growing, giving her options I never had bouncing between foster homes. She will never have to choose between her safety and someone else's bad decisions. So tell me, was I wrong? What would you have done? Because sometimes the most loving act is refusing to enable destruction, even when the destroyer shares your last name. Sometimes the bravest thing is to close the door. And sometimes closing the door is the only way to finally open the window and breathe.